The focal point of nearly all religions is a supreme being, idol, or multiple deities. Conversely, Buddhism does not fit into the boundaries of religion because it is a combination of religious faith and philosophical reason. Therefore, the practice of Buddhism is better labeled as a thought tradition due to the multiple dissimilarities that exist between it and any other religion. One of these major differences is the ideal of a supreme creator being. This is not to say that Buddhists do not have spirits which they revere. Bodhisattvas and deities are essences which guide individuals on the path to enlightenment, but these figures are not worshipped in the sense that they are higher beings. In actuality, the only bodhisattvas and deities of Buddhism are flawed, as they have yet themselves to attain Buddhahood. The term bodhisattva is unique to the Buddhist thought tradition. A bodhisattva is a person on the path to awakening who out of compassion chooses to stay and help those caught in the cycle of existence. These consciousnesses are creations of the imagination, having never existed, and are not reproductions of any particular individual. The bodhisattvas are simply models of enlightened persons on the path to Buddhahood with the intention of helping human beings reach higher levels of enlightenment. The concept of the bodhisattva is very important in the Buddhist tradition, specifically among followers of the Mahayana sect. Mahayana Buddhists believe that the bodhisattvas are motivated by bodhicitta, the desire to aid all beings in their quest for Buddhahood. Bodhicitta is taught to be selfless determination, as the purpose of enlightenment is not for oneself, but for the benefit of all beings. According to the Mahayana beliefs, bodhisattvas take the bodhisattva vow to achieve Buddhahood quickly and postpone enlightenment for themselves in order to teach the Dharma to those who have not yet realized Buddhahood. After committing to the ideal of bodhicitta, a bodhisattva passes through the 10 stages of bhumis. The steps involved in bhumis are great joy, stainless, radiant, luminous, very difficult to train, obviously transcendent, gone afar, immovable, good discriminating wisdom, and cloud of Dharma. Buddhahood rather than enlightenment is the aspiration of bhumis, which does not correspond with the Theravada conviction that bodhisattvas do not delay enlightenment. According to Theravada principles, the bodhisattva is seen as seeking enlightenment so that once awakened, he or she may efficiently aid other beings with the expertise of supreme wisdom. Bodhisattvas are recognized by followers of the Theravada sect, but with less emphasis. In relation to the Mahayana sect of Theravada, adhere to a more philosophical approach rather than a religious approach where bodhisattvas are concerned. Theravadas venerate only one bodhisattva, Maitreya, otherwise known as the future Buddha. The rationale of worshipping only Maitreya and disregarding all additional bodhisattvas arose from the scripture upon which all Theravada tradition is based. The Pali Canon, or earliest existing scripture of the Gautama Buddha, is the foundation of Theravada tradition, and Maitreya is the only active bodhisattva listed in these teachings. Ultimately, the Theravada faction does not elevate bodhisattvas to the status of deity divergent from the Mahayana sect. Deities in the Buddhist thought tradition perform diverse tasks in accordance with the needs of an individual motivated towards enlightenment. Deities are identified as yidams, a meditational deity who is the embodiment of a particular aspect of enlightenment if they abate a person in meditation and transformation. Other deities may function as protectors of the Dharma or an entire class of beings. Even though the term deity is used interchangeably with God, the deities of Buddhism are diverse from the god or gods of other religions. Foremost distinct from gods, deities are not intended to be adulated. Furthermore, gods were at one time considered real, whereas the deities of Buddhism are manifestations of emptiness. Although lines of distinction among bodhisattvas and deities are frequently blurred, there is indeed a difference. Bodhisattvas, for instance, are more affable to the individual as they are innately compassionate in their quest to assist all beings towards Buddhahood and enlightenment. Of all the bodhisattvas in the Buddhist thought tradition, 8 are prominent as the great bodhisattvas, otherwise known as the compassionate bodhisattvas. 3 of the 8 compassionate bodhisattvas function as family protectorates, including Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, and Vajrapani. Manjushri is considered the father and mother of bodhisattvas and was spoken about by Buddha in the Manjushri Parinirvana Sutra. The statue of Manjushri holds a sword in his right hand and the scriptures in his left, and he is generally seated upon a throne or elephant. While Manjushri is the master of all bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara is the most important and popular bodhisattva in Mahayana tradition. This is a result of the immense compassion which Avalokiteshvara encompasses for all sentient beings. Avalokiteshvara has the most forms of any bodhisattva, but is most often dressed in white and red, symbolizing his passion for all of humanity. Contrasting Manjushri and Avalokiteshvara, Vajrapani is the only bodhisattva originating from a god. Vajrapani is depicted as a reproduction of the Hindu god Indra. Vajrapani is depicted in his peaceful state as wearing royal blue or black. In his more wrathful forms, he holds a vajra or is winged. In addition to the family protectors, 5 other bodhisattvas compose the 8 compassionate bodhisattvas. Savaranavarana Viskambin removes the Naravarana of the 5 kleshvas, which include desire, hatred, sloth, arrogance, and doubt. The illustration of Sarvanavarana Viskambin is royal blue with the moon on his lotus. Kitasagarbha is said to be the Bodhisattva of death and fallen souls, comforting child and people in the hell realms. His green figurine is normally seated with a lotus bearing a naga tree. The name of the 3rd compassionate bodhisattva, Samantrahaba, connotates all good or universally worthy. He is also a protector of all people who teach the Dharma. The effigy of Samantabhadra holds a lotus with a golden wheel or the sun. Akasabgarbha, one of the lesser-known compassionate bodhisattvas, is well known for his generous nature. His sculpture is green and dressed in white robes, brandishing a lotus with a large sword emanating light in his left hand. The final compassionate bodhisattva is the future Buddha, Maitreya. His title as future Buddha signifies that he is within and without everyone. In the future, he is expected to return to earth in human form to bring all conscious beings to enlightenment. The statue of Maitreya sits on a chair holding a lotus with a stupa emerging from it. The compassion that emanates from the 8 great bodhisattvas conflicts with the vengeance of the 8 wrathful bodhisattvas. These 8 bodhisattvas are guardians of Buddhist and Buddhist faith in that they combat evil influences. The first wrathful bodhisattva, Mahakela, destroys mind chatter and brings the mind back into attentive focus. Mahakela does not have a distinct form but appears in many different colors and forms. Yamantaka is concerned with overcoming the poison of hatred in the human heart. He is usually dark blue with 1 bullhead and 2 arms. He wears a crown of skulls, has a 3rd eye, a skull cap in his left hand, and a chopper in his right. Another wrathful bodhisattva, Yama, judges the spirits of the dead to determine which realm they will go to upon death. In art, he is depicted with green or red skin, red clothes, and riding a buffalo. He holds a loop of rope in his left hand with which he pulls the soul from the corpse. Hayagriva is the only bodhisattva with the ability to cure diseases, and more specifically skin diseases. He is depicted with 1 face, 2 arms, 2 legs, and his facial features appear extremely vicious. Kubera is the bodhisattva of wealth, and his symbol is a mongoose, often shown vomiting jewels, carrying a jambahara, and with his right foot as a pendant and supported by a lotus flower on which is a conch shell. Palden Lamo is one of the strongest protectors and only female bodhisattva among the wrathful bodhisattvas. Her figurine is dark blue with 3 eyes and wielding a sickle or a sandalwood club and holding a blood-filled skull while seated on her mule. Begsi is a protector of Dharma and originally thought to be the bodhisattva of war. Begsi is considered a lower protector because he did not achieve complete liberation. Like Begsi, the final wrathful bodhisattva, Shangpa, is a protector of the Dharma as well as the faithful. The statue of Shangpa sits on a white horse with a sword and sometimes carrying a banner. With the introduction of Buddhism in Tibet, various new ideals were incorporated into the Buddhist thought tradition. In general, deities are admired in Buddhism by Tibetan Buddhists, considered them extremely significant in their faith. The transcendental deities, or 5 dhyana Buddhas, are believed capable of overcoming particular evil with a particular good. Akoshabha embodies consciousness and is the ruler of water who transforms ignorance and stupidity using mirror-like wisdom. Ratnasambhava is associated with the human realm